Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Monsters and Mutants, FrankenDon. Man, I love his name. Like, I just love the way they actually worked it together as one word here, you know, because the other ones were like Vampire Raph and Mummy Leo. This is like FrankenDon, all one word. I don't know, that is awesome. Anyway, I am continuing my look at the brand new Monster Turtles, which is a line I have been very, very excited for. So as you can see, FrankenDon here comes in that new Monsters packaging, featuring the 4 turtles from the animated series at the top in their monster outfits, and then the blister bubble down below that gives us a great look at FrankenDon and his included accessory. When we rotate this box around to the backside, we just have a cross cell that shows all 4 turtles in their monster disguises and our 2 Monster Hunter turtles as well. Great looking series, so let's go ahead and get FrankenDon outside of the packaging and get a closer look at him. FrankenDon! I love that name. Let's see if the figure lives up to it. So we're going to start with the tape measure here so you can see that Donatello is over 5 inches tall. In fact, he's got this little screw on his head that pushes him up above that limit there. He is the tallest in the group, always has been, but I got to say the big boots on this one makes him even a little bit taller than normal. So you can see he kind of towers over the rest of the turtles there. So let's look at the overall design of this guy. I just talked about the boots, so let's start there. Look at that footwear, man. I love that. He's got those classic like platform boots, which is what we've seen Frankenstein kind of rocking in a lot of those classic horror movies, which I think is so very cool. They are all solid black, but you can see they kind of got a tattered look to them that go up to the knee pads. But I do love how on his left foot, his turtle toes are poking out, and those are painted, which is nice. And there's like a little bolt, like it's holding it into his foot. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. But I absolutely love that. The boots are awesome on this guy. When you come up and look at the rest of the details on here, it's really great. There's a lot of stitching going on, scars and stitching and all that stuff all the way around on the legs and the arms and even coming down on the hands there. I think that is really cool. And on the middle here, you can see he's got this massive crack in his front plate, and he's even got a little metal plate that's done in like a shiny silver paint there on the front. That is so, so cool. Great little details like on the elbow pads. So we got like these crazy giant bolts on both sides there. And he's even got this big metal plate over his left shoulder. Then he's got that big bolt that I mentioned sticking out of his head, which is a very, very nice touch. And I absolutely love his head. You'll notice it's got this very cool kind of sharp angles going on with it there. So it's not a round turtle head. It actually is kind of squared off and it's flat on the top. Very, very cool looking. And I love his bandana here too, because it's got this really long bandana coming down the back. It's got a bit of a tattered look to it. And look at the shell. Oh my gosh, the shell is so cool. So it's even got its own stitching kind of between the plates of the shell. But he also has these giant blue like light bulbs sticking out of the back there. And look at this. This is something new for a Donnie. His little bow staff weapon plugs into his back right there, and it actually holds very nicely, so I like that quite a bit. I think Donatello has got one of the best sculpts in this particular lineup here. I think he's really cool. There might have been a little bit more extra paint that could have been used to make some of these little stitches really stand out, but that's very, very minor in complaint. I love the look of this guy. I also love that he's got this one big open hand here on the left with the big wretched fingernails. I think that's very cool and allows for some different type of posing that we don't really get out of a Ninja Turtles figure. Pretty cool stuff. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk articulation. It's very, very basic with Donnie here. The head can move left and right, slightly up and down. The arms can move up, down, left, right, swivel. You can move those all the way around. The little plate over the shoulder does not hinder the motion whatsoever. You can swivel the elbow. You can bend the elbow. There is no wrist swivels, it doesn't look like here, because of the sculpt of the wrap. So that's one place he's different than the rest of the turtles in the monster lineup. Otherwise, he does have the hinge-like joints at the thighs, so legs can go outwards, forwards, backwards, and swivel. You got bends at the knees and swivels at the knees. So it's a decent basic amount of articulation, very similar to what we've seen in the line all the way through, but it still works for some very cool poses with our FrankenDon. So the only accessory is that piece I showed you on the back. It just pops right off his back. It's a really funky looking version of the bow staff. Look, it's even got like a little gauge up here, which is kind of funny. Little satellite type dish on the top. Really, really weird look. Very techie looking. He holds it in his hand, his right hand, just fine. It's worth noting that the little peg that plugs into his back, of course, is going to get in the way just a little bit, but he can still hold on to it, and it's a pretty cool little accessory. Personally, I kind of like it plugged onto his back. It actually looks really cool with the overall look of the figure. So overall, I love this guy. Posing him around is a lot of fun. Love that outstretched hand look. I think this is actually one of my favorite figures, if not my absolute favorite figure in the Monster Bunch so far. I just think he's a very cool and very fun sculpt. I really wish I had some of the classic ones that were opened up so I can do some comparison time here, the original vintage Universal monsters, but I gotta repeat myself that I think it's so cool that Playmates Toys is kind of paying homage, or that Nickelodeon is paying homage rather, with that new Monsters version of the Turtles in the cartoon series, and I love that we've got brand new action figures as well. I think they're all very fun, really cool additions to the line. They're probably some of the best Turtle variants we've ever gotten in this line. They're full new sculpts all the way through, and they're just very fun designs. So definitely highly recommended from me. Very special thanks to my friends over at Playmates Toys for sending this guy along so we can get a good look at him outside of the packaging. These are hitting store shelves right now. So happy hunting, my friends. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, leave me a comment, and let me know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe for more reviews just like this one. Until next time, my friends.